Best 1950s cartoons you wish were still on the air. Do you ever find yourself wishing you could turn on the TV and watch your favorite cartoons from the 1950s? Back when Saturday mornings were filled with laughter, catchy theme songs, and unforgettable characters? In this video, we're looking at the best 1950s cartoons you wish were still on the air. These classic shows shaped an entire generation and gave us timeless memories that continue to bring smiles to faces today. From iconic duos to mischievous animals, these cartoons are not just entertainment, but a part of our life. So, without further ado, let's dive into the animated world of the 1950s. Number 10. The cartoon that gave us one of the most entertaining rivalries between a sly cat and some very smart little troublemakers. Do you have any guesses? Number 10. Pixie and Dixie and Mr. Jinx. Pixie and Dixie and Mr. Jinx is a classic 1950s cartoon that first aired on October 2nd, 1958. The series followed the adventures of two clever mice, Pixie and Dixie, and their constant run-ins with the grumpy cat Mr. Jinx. The famous catchphrase, "I hate those mices to pieces," became iconic as Mr. Jinx repeatedly tried to outsmart the mice, only to fail in hilarious ways. This cat and mouse chase was similar to Tom and Jerry, but had its own unique charm with its lighthearted humor and witty banter. Children loved watching the mischievous Pixie and Dixie always outwitting the frustrated Mr. Jinx. The show ran until December 1st, 1961, and produced 57 episodes in total. While it may not be as well remembered as some bigger names, it holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up in the era. The timeless humor made it a beloved part of 1950s television. The next duo we'll talk about had a special bond that always got them through tricky times. Curious? Number 9. The Rough and Ready Show. The Rough and Ready Show was one of the first successful animated TV shows produced by Hanna-Barbera. It first aired on NBC on December 14, 1957, and ran until April 2, 1960. This charming series featured the adventures of two lovable characters, Rough, a clever cat, and Reddy, a goofy dog. Together, they got into all sorts of comical misadventures, always relying on each other to escape tricky situations. The show was groundbreaking, as it helped establish Hanna-Barbera's iconic animation style, which would go on to influence many future cartoons. Over its 3-year run, The Rough and Ready Show aired 156 episodes. The show's lighthearted humor, simple animation, and memorable characters quickly won over the hearts of audiences, especially kids who eagerly tuned in each week to see what mishaps Rough and Ready would face next. If you thought that last one was funny, wait until you see what happens with the next duo. Number 8. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. The Rocky and Bullwinkle show first aired in 1959 and ran until 1964, with a total of 163 episodes. The show featured the hilarious adventures of Bullwinkle, a dim-witted moose, and his clever friend Rocky, a flying squirrel. Together, they faced all sorts of absurd and wild challenges, often battling the sneaky villains Boris and Natasha, spies from the fictional country of Pennsylvania. While kids enjoyed the goofy characters and their silly antics, adults could appreciate the show's jokes about politics and current events, which were hidden in the storylines. This made it a hit with viewers of all ages. Each episode had multiple segments, featuring other characters like Dudley Do-Right, Peabody, and Sherman, adding to its appeal. The Rocky and Bullwinkle show is remembered fondly for its smart writing, entertaining stories, and lovable characters. It remains one of the most iconic cartoons of that era. Up next, there's a character who never fails to give us wild surprises. You'll recognize this classic cat. Number 7. Felix the Cat. Felix the Cat first appeared in silent films in 1928, making him one of the earliest animated stars before his television series, which aired from 1958 to 1966. The show produced a total of 220 episodes, filled with the adventures of Felix, a clever black and white cat with a magical bag of tricks that helped him deal with chaotic situations. Felix's charm came from his ability to outsmart his foes, especially the bumbling professor, and his playful interactions with his girlfriend, Kitty. The cartoon's blend of humor and storytelling made it immensely popular among children and adults alike. Kids of the 50s must remember watching Felix during Saturday morning cartoons, often laughing at his antics while eating cereal. Whether it was a funny moment when Felix turned the tables on the professor, or a nostalgia for simpler times, Felix the Cat reminded us of those carefree childhood days filled with laughter and no work. Seriously, Can we just hit a pause on adulthood and bring back those carefree times with zero responsibilities? Pretty please. Just when you think a dog's life can't get any more exciting, a charming blue hound shows us how it's done. Number 6. The Huckleberry Hound Show. The Huckleberry Hound Show first aired in 1958 and quickly became a favorite among viewers. This animated show featured the laid-back blue hound dog Huckleberry, who often found himself in tricky situations, but always kept his cool. Whether he was a sheriff, a knight, or a farmer, Huckleberry's southern drawl and easygoing personality made him charming to audiences of all ages. His clever catchphrases and humorous adventures kept people coming back for more. The show ran until 1962 with a total of 69 episodes. It didn't just focus on Huckleberry, though. The series also introduced other beloved characters like Yogi Bear or Pixie and Dixie. The show was groundbreaking for its time, becoming the first animated series to win an Emmy Award in 1960. Even today, people remember Huckleberry Hound fondly, making it one of those classic cartoons many wish were still on the air. Do you remember that iconic laugh that would echo through your living room? Number 5. The Woody Woodpecker Show. That's the unmistakable sound of Woody Woodpecker, the star of his show in 1957. With his red cap, black and white feathers, and a laugh that could send shivers down your spine, Woody was a beloved character. The Woody Woodpecker Show was a series of animated shorts that featured Woody's wacky antics and his rivalry with his neighbor, Wally Walrus. Woody was always up to something, whether it was playing pranks on Wally, chasing after a woodpecker seed, or just being his mischievous self. His cartoons were full of humor, action, and a touch of the absurd. One of the most memorable aspects of the show was Woody's laugh. It was a unique sound that instantly made you laugh even today. And let's not forget his signature phrase, "Guess who?" Next up is a fan favorite, where the simplest chase turns into the most entertaining showdown. This cartoon was a constant in homes everywhere. Number 4. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is one of the most beloved cartoon series of all time. It first aired in 1940 and continued to entertain audiences until 1967, producing a total of 164 episodes. The show features the classic rivalry between a clever mouse named Jerry and a not-so-bright cat named Tom. Each episode follows their hilarious antics as Tom tries to catch Jerry, while Jerry always seems to outsmart him. The humor in Tom and Jerry is timeless, relying on physical comedy and clever gags rather than dialogue. Viewers of all ages loved the clever ways Jerry escapes Tom's traps. Throughout the years, Tom and Jerry have received numerous awards, including several Academy Awards for animated short film. Let's be honest, it was not only a part of our childhood, but also our kids' childhoods. No regrets here. I'll pressure them to watch it until they're old enough to pressure their kids. It should be a part of the legacy. The show's humor, creativity, and unforgettable characters keep Tom and Jerry a favorite for anyone who grew up watching cartoons. Alright now, let's see how one mouse takes on villains and surprises us. Number 3. Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse first aired in 1942 and continued captivating audiences until 1961. This animated superhero mouse quickly became a beloved character, known for his catchy theme song, "Here I Come to Save the Day." With his small size but mighty strength, Mighty Mouse often found himself rescuing others from villains, especially the notorious cat, Oil Can Harry. The series was filled with colorful adventures, showcasing Mighty Mouse flying in to save the day with his impressive skills and clever tricks. In total, Mighty Mouse produced 80 episodes. Children loved to watch him defeat bad guys and save the day, dreaming they could do it one day too. Unfortunately, we can't do it, guys. We have to rely on Mighty Mouse or maybe Captain America for this. Even today, fans remember the joy and excitement that came with each episode, wishing for the days when Mighty Mouse flew into their living rooms to save someone once again. Coming up, there's a delightful team of a lovable kid and his wise dad. Number 2. Auggie Doggy and Doggy Daddy. Auggie Doggy and Doggy Daddy is a beloved cartoon that aired from 1959 to 1962. The show features the charming duo of Auggie, a young puppy, full of curiosity and energy, and his father, Doggy Daddy, who's always there to guide him. The episodes revolve around their everyday adventures, showcasing the fun and sometimes challenging moments of their father-son relationship. One of the most memorable aspects of Auggie Doggy and Doggy Daddy is the strong bond between the two characters. Whether they're exploring the neighborhood, playing games, or simply spending time together, Auggie and his dad always find a way to make each other's day. Despite its age, Auggie Doggy and Doggy Daddy's themes of family, friendship, and learning from your mistakes continue to resonate even today. If you're looking for a nostalgic cartoon that'll bring a smile to your face, Auggie Doggy and Doggy Daddy are worth watching. Before we wrap up, let's dive into a cartoon where the main character took things to a whole new level of silliness. Number 1. Mr. Meoo. Mr. Magoo's series first aired in 1949 and continued entertaining us until 1959, completing a total of 100 episodes. Mr. Meoo is an elderly man who's extremely short-sighted, but remains blissfully unaware of his surroundings. His lack of vision leads to a series of funny situations, where he often misinterprets the world around him. In each episode, Mr. Meoo goes to various places, whether it's going to the opera or visiting a museum. Despite his blindness, he manages to navigate these situations with a mix of charm and luck, often leaving viewers in stitches. The character was voiced by Jim Backus, whose comedic timing added to the humor of the show. Mr. Meoo became a cultural icon, representing the humorous side of aging and the joy of living life to the fullest. So, these were some of the best cartoons of the 1950s that were a huge part of our childhoods. These gems reminded us of times when Saturday mornings meant gathering around the TV with our siblings, excited for the next adventure. So, what about you? Which cartoon made you laugh the hardest or brought back your fondest memories? We'd love to hear your favorites. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more nostalgic content. Hit that bell icon so you won't miss our next video, where we explore even more treasures from the past.